Okay everyone, it's Sunday the whatever it is, week after Easter, and today I'm going to carry on removing or stripping down the independent suspension. You can see I've already got it off the cradle, and I've already done one side, a bit of a rehearsal perhaps. And what I'm going to do first is to remove this cotter pin, which you can see I've already made a start on it, and then we've got done all this, get the brake caliper off and get this shaft out here, as well as the arm here. Then it should just come out, and I've got to undo the 4 nuts on there as well. As you see, now we're in our, I think, 4th week of lockdown, which is not too bad as far as I'm concerned, because I've got plenty to do, but I'm a bit concerned about the business aspect of things, just wondering how many businesses that affect us with Jag spares and Jag bits and bobs are going to survive this. Hopefully they'll be alright, but I don't know. So this is why I'm really starting to push on with this now, because I want to get down to Barrett's and get all the bearings and all the other necessary bits to complete this job. Okay, but on doing the other side, I had a bit of a problem getting this out, but hopefully this one won't be quite as bad. You might need a bit of a welly with a copper hammer to help it on its way. Just light taps. And there we have one split pin, or one cotter pin. Should be, it's quite rusted, but we're putting a new one on there. Now next thing we have to get this nut off, which is 1 1/8" AF. But I'm using a hammer drill, then difficult to get hold of if they are available. So I've had to put up for a 30mm one, which fits it. It's a bit slack, and I don't like that very much, but it took the other one off okay. So we're going to have another go at this. The other thing with these things, you've got to make sure it's running the right way. Okay. So that was on tight. It's come off okay. There's only minimal damage on the flats, well, except there of course. But it's come off. I don't know how I would have done that with a normal socket and extension. Couldn't have done it. Of course, don't forget to put everything in the plastic bag. There's a sarnie bag here, or sandwich bag. should be free. The problem is now I need a hub puller, which I haven't got, so I'm going to have to go over to the tool shop. Won't be today obviously because it's Sunday, and see if I can get hold of one, and hopefully I don't have to order it, so that will delay me even more. Okay, that'll do for a minute. Just get these gloves off and get myself set up for doing those 4 bolts at the back, and I'll come back to you. Okay, our next job now is to get this caliper off. As you can see, you might be able to see it is wide on into position, and we've got to get that off. So get a pair of nippers on there if we can. It's not very easy to get at, but we will do it. There's a bit of it out anyway. The bottom one's going to be a bit more difficult, I suspect. We'll come to that in a second. Now we need a 5/8 spanner, open-ended spanner on this. And there is one guy somewhere in the US who said, who's moaning about, oh, we can't get the nut out. Well, you don't have to get the nut out. You only have to take it out partially. Then it'll just lift off. The 5/8 spanner, open-ended, probably a ringer is probably better. Then we use this implement, which is an extension. Get it on the right way. Hopefully she'll get it off. I think we might have to use a, is it moving? Can't see. We'll have to use a ring spanner, and I'm going to have to find it because I can't find it. I didn't know where it was right now. Don't want any problems there. Go. So let's get back to things. I can't find my 5/8 ring spanner, so I've used a 16mm, which is more or less the same size. Now this is alright to start it off, but you must, once you've got it free, you must change over to an open-ended spanner, because otherwise it'll get jammed. Okay, using this implement, put it on the right way. Just make sure it stays on the head. Give it a heave, and hopefully it'll come. There we go. You see how tight it is. Well, I have at long last got this bottom bolt out. I've just been thinking about it, that when they assembled this in the factory, they wouldn't have done it this way. They must have put that plate on the back there on together with the caliper, having worked in this kind of environment in Vauxhalls, that's the only way I can see it being done. There was no way they were going to fiddle around in the factory putting a bolt in like that. No way whatever. I might try it out when we come to reassemble. Another point is, when I first started working June of 1966, I worked in the Girling's factory at Bromborough, which is just about 8 or 9 miles away from here, and one of the first things I did was assemble these calipers. I did go on to doing many others, of course, but this is, as a point of interest, this is one of the first jobs I ever had, was to assemble these at Girling's in Bromborough. Anyway, let's see if it'll come off without too much problem. There you go. That's a struggle. Well, I'll have a look at those later. This seems to be in a bit of a mess, etc. Now I'd just like to show you these pads that came off, the old pads. There's the ones I've taken off, and there's the new ones there, and I'll just go and show you the caliper, which I think you will find to be quite impressive, or not. As you can see there, what a state that's in. How that ever got through the MOT, I will never know. Same, they're full of water, or have been full of water and rusted solid, so obviously the pistons are solid, and how that got through the MOT in that state, I will never know. In fact, I think if I'd have done this earlier, I'd have probably have sued the buggers. There you go. I hope you can see that anyway, and I'll come back to you later.